I've never been a leader that doesn't want to help their people grow. The challenge is, how do we actually go about doing it? And here's the principle of this series, and we're going to dig into it each week. It's that you can't legislate growth, but you can cultivate it. Take this happy fern, for example. I can hope it grows. I can command it to grow. I can even ask it nicely to grow. And that won't ensure its growth at all. But what I have to do is I have to cultivate it. I have to cultivate the right environment to enable its growth. That includes watering it, helping it get light, replanting it when it needs to be. And the same is true for our people. And so if we want to help our people grow, we can't legislate it. We have to cultivate it. Now, my first challenge for you, if you want to cultivate growth versus legislate it, is tell me that you're committed. You might say, hey, Kyle, I'm totally committed. And I would say, prove it by showing me your calendar. If you aren't committed to cultivating growth, then it'll never happen. And there's two ways that your calendar will tell you if you're committed. First is, do you have time, regular scheduled time on there for your people? If you aren't with them, you can't help cultivate them. The second is, do you have margin? Without margin, we miss the small opportunities to interact with people. We miss being there when they need us. We miss the little brainstorms that happen in the windshield time. And so I know that you listen to this because you're a leader that wants to cultivate your people. Now remind yourself that you can't legislate growth. You can't just expect it from them. You can't just tell them. You can't just command them. You can't just hope for it. You have to cultivate them, and you have to cultivate your culture to lead to growth. And the first step for you is to be committed by having time in your calendar for your people and enough margin that you can respond to the little opportunities along the way. Next week, we're going to look at calling up our people so we can continue to cultivate a culture of development.